I'm an intuitive health medium, and I can see where people have stress and trauma energetically trapped on their body and how it manifests into illness over time. And this photo is one I used with a client in her session. Now, I don't own the rights to this photo. I just grabbed it off the internet so I could help my client understand what I was seeing both energetically and physically in her body. But this is a woman who was in a very toxic work environment with a covert narcissistic boss. Now, the longer you're in an environment with somebody who's traumatizing your energy that's manifesting into illness, the longer you're in that environment, the more illness that you'll get, and also the more it will escalate. And she was in this environment for almost 20 years. She had a great deal of illness and all types of injuries in her back. Now, right here where you see that dot, that was what started out as mild neck pain on the left side. And again, all of the issues were on her left side because her boss was a female and the left side is feminine energy. So it started out with just having like mild neck pain, which turned into her seeing a chiropractor regularly because her neck was always out of place. And then it turned into severe muscle issues down through her trapezius muscles to where she couldn't tip her neck. And then after about 10 years of being in this environment, all of that muscle pain and all of that trauma vibrating through this area of her neck and shoulders, she ended up with frozen shoulder for almost 3 years, and she couldn't sleep on her left side. Now, her boss was always targeting her and trying to engage her in argument or conflict. So what my client ended up doing over time is and I felt her doing it, is when the boss would enter the room or the office, she would like fold. And it was almost like to make herself feel unseen. So she would like bring her shoulders forward and like tip herself down. Not like she was trying to hide. It was just like a very subconscious, like not quite aware that she was doing it. But energetically, her body would know like danger's coming and it would hurt. She would fold to kind of keep herself encased in a shell. But when it ended up happening, and it's common with people, when we feel insecure, we drop our shoulders and we hunch our back. It's like we don't want to be seen. She was doing that. Like she didn't want to be seen because she didn't want to be targeted and have her boss like coming after her. So she ended up with a very like curve in her spine that like became a bump, and she ended up having surgery in these discs. Like she had all sorts of disc issues and muscular issues in this area of her back. Now, what you're not seeing is on the front of the photo that she had thyroid issues that manifested into Hashimoto's because she was in such a hyper-reactive stress state that the work environment was very stressful, which of course created weight gain because her body hormonally was out of balance because she was secreting the stress hormone cortisol, which is what causes us to gain weight. Plus, she had thyroid issues that also caused weight gain, and then she eventually ended up with the autoimmune disease, Hashimoto's. Now, being in a narcissistic environment, whether it's a relationship or, childhood with a narcissistic parent, it does impact all 7 chakras. But when it's a work environment, the throat chakra gets affected the most because we're terrified of sharing our voice or engaging in conflict because we don't want to be fired. So it puts us in a space where we have to stay suppressed fully in our voice. And that's where it starts with the illness that manifests over the time that we're in that environment.